Hey, good afternoon, students. Yesterday we have started the module number 4, and today we are going to study the next kind of a gauge, that is a thermal conductivity gauge. And under this category or this type, we are going to study the Pirani gauge as an example of a thermal conductivity gauge. So, what do you mean by thermal conductivity? This concept of a thermal conductivity we have been studying since from 11th and 12th standard. So you are well aware what is a thermal conductivity, right? And gauge is a kind of a sensor, is a device which sense a thermal conduction in a particular uh, uh, gas or in a room. Fine. So the thermal conductivity pressure gauge are extremely common in vacuum technology, and these gauges are used generally for understanding the principle of measurement and operation, and this principle of measurement and operations helps in their proper applications. So therefore the measuring pressure is a necessity for virtually all vacuum processes and vacuum practitioners, but there are some variations in pressure ranges and the degree of required accuracy and precision, that there is no possibility of identifying a single type of gauge that will be of use to all. Applications might vary from simply monitoring all or a part of the pump down cycle, or carefully measuring a ultimate pressure, or measuring and controlling a critical process gas. There are, however, two types of gauges that are arguably the most commonly used out of the many gauge which are available. So the generally the vacuum gauges available are ionization gauges and thermal conductivity gauge. Now let us uh, try to understand a type under thermal conductivity gauge, that is a Pirani gauge. And this Pirani gauge measures the vacuum pressure dependent thermal conductivity from the heated wire to the surrounding. At low pressure, effective thermal conductivity of gas decreases with the pressure. This is the principle of Pirani gauge, and the pictorial representation of this Pirani gauge is shown in the diagram, right? So this is a Pirani gauge which consists of a compensating cell, right? And we have a platinum filament. You can see the cursor. So this is a platinum filament, this is a compensating cell, and this is these two are connected to the recorder, where this compensating cell and this filament is connected to the power supply, and this end is also connected to the power supply. This is a power supply. You can also indicate this with plus and minus sign, right? So this is the circuit diagram, I can say, for the Pirani gauge, and this is a bridge circuit which consists of 4 different resistors. So this compensating cell and this filament and these two resistors are a part of a bridge circuit actually, and this bridge circuit is shown over here, which consists of heated element, that means a coil here, and this is to a vacuum source, and this complete circuit is called as a bridge circuit, right? Hope you have understood this Pirani gauge diagram, and let us try to understand now the operation of this Pirani gauge. This Pirani gauge consists of the metal filament, and this metal filament is made generally of platinum wire, right? So this is a metal filament, right, and this is shown here, and this metal filament is suspended in a tube which is connected to the system whose vacuum is to be measured, right. So this complete system of a Pirani gauge circuit is inserted in a tube wherein you want to measure the vacuum, or suppose if you want to measure the vacuum in a particular room chamber, then you should keep this circuit in a particular uh, vessel or a room chamber that will give you the measurement of low pressure, or I can say vacuum, in a particular room or a chamber. The connection is usually made either by a ground glass joint or a flanked metal connector. So this is a connector, and generally the metal connector is used, sealed with an o-ring. The filament is connected to an electric circuit from which after calibration a pressure reading may be taken, right. So the conducting wire, that is a platinum wire, gets heated once you apply a power supply, or you provide a power supply to the circuit, then the conducting wire, that is platinum wire, will get heated, and when electric current flows through it, because of current passing through it, the platinum wire will get heated, and this wire suspended in a gas will lose heat to the gas as its molecules collides with the wire and removes the heat. As gas pressure is reduced, the number of molecules present will fall proportionately, and therefore the thermal conductivity of the surrounding media will fall, and therefore the wire lose the heat more slowly. So this is the operation actually of the Pirani gauge. The measuring the heat loss is an indirect indication of a pressure measurement, because there is a relation between heat loss and pressure, and by sensing the heat loss you can measure the pressure. You are measuring the pressure, that means you are measuring the vacuum. The electrical resistance of the wire varies with its temperature, so the measurement of resistance also indicates the temperature of the wire. Now the change in resistance of the filament is determined using the bridge circuit. Now this bridge circuit you already studied, so you are well aware this about the bridge circuit. This change in resistance of the Pirani gauge filament becomes a measure of the applied pressure when calibrated, and using this Pirani gauge you can measure the low pressure, or you can say vacuum, between 0.5 torr to 10 to the power minus 3 torr. So this figure is this is a range of the measurement of a vacuum or low pressure by using the Pirani gauge, and this is very important. You can see the question based on the Pirani gauge is appeared in various exams. So you should remember what is the range of the vacuum or pressure that we can measure by using the Pirani gauge. So its range is below 10 to the power minus 3 we can measure the minus 3 torr we can measure by using the Pirani gauge, right. So let us now study some advantages and disadvantages of the Pirani gauge. So let's go first for the advantages part of the Pirani gauge. And this Pirani gauge are inexpensive and usually more accurate than thermocouple gauges, and therefore the Pirani gauge is more preferred for measuring the vacuum. Pressure reading range is wider. Next advantage of the Pirani gauge is a fast response to the change in pressure. Pirani gauge shows a very quick response to the change in pressure, and therefore this is the most advantage of using the Pirani gauge. The possibility of a process control and a remote reading is the one more advantage for using the Pirani gauge. There are some disadvantages for using the Pirani gauges. Let us study these disadvantages. The calibration of this Pirani gauge is non-linear and which varies from one gas to another gas. This is not constant for all the gases, and then therefore this is one